Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky.
Good morning.
I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky.
You are too.
You know, my Spanish teacher always said the best way to learn Spanish is to go to Spain.
And my Spanish teacher always said, Hola, ¿cómo está?
Oh. Immersion. Today we're talking about immersion. We just got back from our water ski tournament.
You were awesome.
Thank you.
You were incredible. I was pretty incredible myself, but you were actually the performer.
Yay!
And I was the assistant and just the supporter and kind of like the sideline guy.
I will say we learned more this past 4 days than we have in our entire since we bought the ski.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yes. And it was because we were around people who have
been doing
the sport and been practicing and been getting to the elite levels of performance.
I mean, from the very, very first day, which was just the qualifying day, I realized I've been getting in the ski wrong.
Well, one of the
everybody gets in their ski on the dock.
That's a lot easier.
I mean, I spent a year learning how to get in the ski in the water, which you need to know how to do that too. Don't get me wrong. But everybody gets in their ski
for that first run, which is the most important run.
On the dock.
Yes. And then someone just pushes them back, or they push themselves, or someone pushes them back off the dock into the water.
I had no idea. We don't know what we don't know. How many times have you heard Jason and I say that on this podcast? We don't know what we don't know. And sometimes we don't know the questions to ask because we don't know the knowledge. We're not aware of the possibilities.
Yeah, if you don't know the door is there, you don't know to knock on it.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, even from that very first day, I was just blown away of, oh my gosh, I have been living in the dark and I didn't even realize it.
Well, going to the competition, this was the actual first time we've ever seen a mini course or an inner course.
Or another sit skier, really.
Yeah, right. Especially one that competes.
One that's independent.
Oh, yeah. That's a big thing. We made an effort to find an independent one at Traverse Ski School, but we just kept crossing paths.
It has been an eye-opener for us, to say the least. But I will say, in the last 4 days, our learning curve has shortened immensely. So the lesson that I want to just share with everybody is that if you want to learn anything, if there is a skill, if there is something that you want to get better at, even if you don't feel prepared, even if you don't feel you're ready, even if, jump in.
Yeah.
Jump in and immerse yourself.
Yeah, because all you're going to do is get better. I mean, it's one of those things that just kind of, you're going to learn by seeing, you're going to learn by hearing, you're going to learn by just being in that present state of mind in the situation. You can't help but do it. It's one of those things, you become the people that you're around the most. And when you're in the environment, you pick up from the environment.
I will say though, there's that, I mean, the reason we don't jump is, what if I feel stupid?
What are they going to think of me?
What if I feel like a fool? And here's the perfect example. I entered the trick ski. I've never even done a single trick on a trick ski. Jason and I put together a trick ski on Sunday night.
The Sunday night before the competition, which started on Wednesday.
We took one of his old wakeboards and we drilled holes in it. We took it to Ace Hardware. We took it to the auto body shop Joe's Auto Body Shop and we said, help us out. You need to like put some holes over here.
In the steel bottom of the cage, the support system of the cage, so that we could have some extra holes because we don't know where we're drilling.
And then we took it to Ace Hardware. We said, we need some screws.
Some
help
nuts,
us.
some washers.
And we literally built this thing. And then we had the opportunity to get out on it one time. Now, I happened to get up on it, so that was the biggest
on
hurdle.
The second try.
So I got up and I was like, yeah.
It's like, she can do it.
I'm a natural.
We're in it.
I'm a natural.
Yeah.
However, I had never done a single trick. Every time I tried to do anything, even just turning sideways.
Dump over.
I would catch an edge, is what they call it. Catch an edge and boom, boom, boom. However, once I qualified for slalom, you qualify for all of the categories. So I thought, well, while I'm there, I might as well just
experience it.
So
immerse yourself in it.
I signed up for trick ski. Now, because I signed up late, I had to go first.
You were afforded the opportunity to go first.
Okay, so now this is jumping in, and here are the fears that you experience. And this is natural, this is human, but I'm just going to be vulnerable right now, and I'm going to share with all of you. So I go first. I didn't get up on my first try. And I'm hearing people on the dock going, oh my gosh, it's her first try. Oh my gosh, does she need someone to jump in the water and help her start? You know, like I'm hearing these things and they're just trying to be helpful. They're just trying to support me. Yet it's starting to build anxiety because in a competition, you only get 2 tries. You only get 2 tries
to start.
And here's the thing is I knew the boat was off to the side and I knew that I was new enough that I needed the boat directly in front of me. However, I was too scared to say anything because then that would make everybody think that I am a total amateur, which I am. But I didn't want everyone else to know that.
I want to show my cards. I'm a competitive person. I want to be able to do it the way all these competitive people do it.
Okay, so I didn't get up the first try. So then the boat comes around. I've got one more shot to get up. And this is being broadcast. Like, this is kind of a big deal. There's a drone in my face.
They're selecting for the USA national team.
Yeah, so there's like a selection process. People are watching. Like, this is a big deal. And I get up and I'm like, okay, I got this. I wait for the green buoy because once the green buoy,
the start gate,
that's where you start your tricks and you have 20 seconds to start your tricks, which I have none. I have no tricks.
Yeah, before you even got in the water, this. The question was, what are the tricks, first of all? And then when do I start? And what does it look like out there? Because we had no idea. We didn't even have any idea what the format of the other program was.
I didn't even know that I needed a different rope.
Or to bring your own.
And yeah, they were like, where's your rope? I'm like, rope? What? I thought, and then I was like, I'll just use my slalom rope. And they're like, no, trick ski is a totally different rope.
When you don't know what you don't know.
And then they were like, what speed do you go at? And I'm like, huh?
Oh, let me throw a number out.
Yeah. And I'm like, 37. They're like, oh, no.
No.
That's not the speed you want to go. It's 15.
Miss Shelfer, you know you've got fins on the bottom of your board, don't
you? I'm like, you'll die at 37. I'm like, oh, I don't want that.
Probably won't die.
Okay, so we get up, we get going, we pass the buoy, and all of a sudden it's time to start your tricks. I have no tricks, okay? So I'm just like waving at the camera. I'm like, hey, I can do ballet. I can make faces, like have fun out here.
You can definitely have fun. I know that.
And then I tried my first trick and I fell. Okay. Now, this really isn't unexpected, but hey, it happened. Now, I thought that once you fall, you're out. I didn't even know.
Once you fall, it's over, honey.
I didn't even know the rules of the game because that's how it is in slalom. Once you fall, you're done.
That pass of the course is over.
You're done. You're just done. And so I'm like, oh, well, that was fun. I'm glad I tried. I have this Midwestern attitude. Oh, there's always next time.
I gave it my old Midwestern try.
Atta girl. I'm just grateful to be out here. Thank you to the boat driver. Thank you to everybody. And so I literally hop on, like I'm taking everybody's time. I'm hopping on the back of the boat and they're like, you can't ride there. You got to actually hop in the boat. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
And for you in the moment,
take a while.
It felt like a long time.
It felt like I was it felt like I was in slow motion.
And for me on the dock, it felt like just a normal ride, just for perspective.
So I'm trying to transfer in the boat. I'm feeling inadequate. I'm feeling slow. And finally, this guy comes over and kind of grabs my life jacket, kind of drags me in the boat.
Like a hoist.
And then he's like, are you going to go again? Like after I had said, okay, back to the dock we go. That was fun. Thank you guys.
I'm calling it a day.
So we're on our way back to the dock and he's like, you have another turn. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, trick ski, you have 2 passes.
What we don't know, we don't know.
So that's my whole thing is in that moment, I felt foolish. I felt dumb. I felt ignorant. I had every emotion that you possibly could think of. I felt like I wasn't enough. I felt
so, and underneath all
the
those,
lowest of the totem pole.
But underneath all those, you also had the pride. So, because I know those are there. Because you wouldn't be in the competition if you didn't have the pride and the excitement and just the knowing that you're doing it. But what happens is that the wake and the wave of all the, like when the fall happens, it's almost like the water comes over you with all these emotions of I failed, I fell, I'm not, like things went wrong, I didn't know what I didn't know. And
I just
all those
felt
emotions
out of my league. I'm like, I didn't even know the rules of the game.
It makes you want to go back and prepare more.
Here I was fighting to be in this competition, and I didn't even take the time to know the rules of the game.
But I saw you doing your research. Like we watched hours of video. We did the things that we knew to do, and we didn't have a list of people to reach out to immediately. So we did, and that's where the immersion comes in. Like you can't get perfect, right? We a lot of times we sit and we want to train, we want to practice, we want to do all these things and get perfect so that when we show up and we win.
Yeah.
And the win is immersion. The win is getting to the start line and getting in the race and learning from the people that have been that took their first turn in the race.
Yeah.
And like you say it all the time, let's stand on the shoulders of the people that have gone before us. And let's be the shoulders for the people that are coming from behind us.
Yes. And on that note, I just want to thank Raquel for letting me use her rope.
Right.
And she was just so full of knowledge. The whole weekend, she was constantly saying, okay, you're going to want to do this. And when you get your next trick ski, you're going to want to sit on a broomstick.
Lay it flat.
Yes.
Don't stand it up.
Jason's like, you mean like vertical? I'm like, no, I'm not putting a broomstick up my butt.
Sometimes we can wish.
No, you put your board on a broomstick to balance, to find your balance point. That's the trick there.
Find out that center point of the board. And then when you're out there on the water, you're going to keep your eyes on the horizon and your head straight.
And you keep the rope near the cage.
Yes. Close to your body.
So immersion is where you learn all the hacks, all the the tips and tricks.
Yeah, you learn from the failures and the successes of the people that have gone before you. And you also get to watch and see and listen and just hear, okay, what went wrong, what went well, and all those questions that we ask on a daily basis of the things that it's so cool to learn from other people's experiences.
It shortens the learning curve.
Yes.
It's like when I read a book, I feel like people have put their lifetime of knowledge into one book. And I think, how lucky am I that I get to sit down and read that book in 5-6 hours, what has taken them a lifetime to learn.
Bam. You've just immersed yourself into their life experiences, and hopefully they've articulated it in a way that you can take the main nuggets and the main points out, and now you can apply that to
in just
your next
6 hours
experience of whatever you're putting forward.
Thanks for joining us today.
Keep living lucky.
Bye-bye.
If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.